You know what? I ain't even gonna waste no time. I need to quickly send all my Sims to the park. Yeah, this is real life, but so is this. Like, somebody else has got a tablet and I'm in their game and they just sent me to the park, so I'm sending my Sims to the park. But the funny thing is though, our game is a bit more conscious because like the person that created me in their game, which is me, I'm saying the person, it's just me, it's all me. Like, they've been trying to send me to the park since 3 a.m, like since yesterday, if I'm being honest. I'm calling over. You can only have 12 Sims in one space, which I think is weird, but I get it. So I'm making them sit at the benches and have an in-depth chat over coffee. Yeah, look, they're all inspired and sitting down. But you know what's funny? They're actually talking to themselves. It's just that you can put 4 Sims max on a bench, and now it looks like they're talking to each other. Can you see? Like these two, this is Holy Spirit that I was talking about, and this is I think this is my friend Dejan. I couldn't tell because all of the black men in here have locks in it. I gave them locks, just different ones. Yeah, so there's that, and then I'm gonna go to my house and then invite the last 2 that couldn't come and make them sit on a bench and have an in-depth talk over coffee right there. You'll know why I have so many computers in these rooms and stuff at another point. Anyway, I am gonna play something. Hi. Don't want it to be too loud, obviously. I'm back at the spot. Got the shoes off, everything. We grounding. I've got no jewelry on. Boy, I know you're losing patience. Losing patience with me. The only thing that I fucked is that I didn't bring my light. So when it actually does start getting dark, I might walk back. But then again, you know, when you're feeling alone, everybody got somebody that they mess with on the low. I just want you to save me. I just want you to save me. We got options, but I wanna let you know that I've decided. I finally realized that all I want is you. So I waited to go out really late. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. And you know, I'm very bare today. I don't have any necklaces on or bracelets. I took off the Kenyan one as well. You know it's deep if I've taken that one off, because that one you have to like push up a bit because it's like that on your wrist. Anyway, you all just act the same, baby. I'm the one to blame. That's just how the game goes. So let's have an in-depth talk, because I don't have any ganja, but that's not the point. And today and for the past few days, I'm just gonna yap. I've been having this like, oh, you know, I can't do my smoke and talk, you know, so I'm just not gonna go outside and I'm gonna do something else, you know, or do a YouTube video at home, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. All I want is you. Bro, I'm not settling until someone sends me the song. It's called Changes by Her. And if you don't know, you should have Shazammed it before I even said that. If you want me, you gotta play a bit of this. Is it even focusing? You gotta play a little bit of Changes by her. I'm joking. You're actually joking. Or am I? I don't know. All I know is that this one is a bit of a casual one. It's a bit of a yap because I realized that even when I don't know what I'm doing, that doesn't mean don't record. That doesn't mean don't talk to people. Don't document your life. Like, don't stop your life just because you're doing something different. Like, even that's for my stoners. Like, sometimes, like, when you run out of weed, like, you're kind of just like, you know. But it's like, there's more where that came from. Yeah, I was saying that there's more where that came from. Like, when, I'm not gonna lie, so I stopped working in October, and I didn't pay for weed up until I subconsciously decided, because everybody pays for weed, because I had a friend that had some and would just give me some, and then I was in a relationship with someone who would also like give me some because they had that same thing with their friend. Like, I was just dating myself in another reality, and I realized how much abundance I had, and I was like, we're both playing. Like, I'm not being funny. Like, maybe the next time I do shrooms, or just in general, I will unpack that relationship with you more, and just relationships with you in general, because I feel like I haven't fully grasped why that happened, why I posted it, why I told you guys about it, why you loved it, and why you're still receptive. Because, you know, when a breakup happens, you think that's the end, but as soon as I said that, and I was like, you know what, like, experiences happen, like, I'm still alive, and I was so gassed to just still be alive, and everybody was like, your mindset is so beautiful, like, I don't think like that. I'm like, oh, I didn't used to think like that either. So it's like, if I record more, basically we'll just notice the both of us evolving more. That's it. I'm a reflection of you, and whether you had a messy breakup before in your life, I am proof that there is a version of you that doesn't have that, or didn't have that. It was more messy towards the end, but it was like, it's because we both saw the end, and we're like, oh, you know, like, oh, we shouldn't have done this. I'm like, no, like, that was the point. I just also didn't want to live in regret. I hate regret, and like I said, it was the greatest relationship of my life so far, and obviously she may not feel the same way, but like, this is my platform. I brought her on my platform, and I'll continue to bring my friends on my platform, strangers, like the next people that I love. I really thought, oh my god, like, life has ended now because you guys saw me a few episodes, and I'm not being funny. Like, at least now the people know that, like, I swing that way, because I feel like it wasn't as obvious as I wanted it to be that I liked women. Yeah, I wasn't. How could you not? Bro, that was a subconscious thing that I knew from childhood. I'll be honest. Like, I just always still thought it. And dating someone who never really thought about dating women up until they met me was like, you know, I'm not really ready to be the first one, man. I mean, at least I was. Like, I'm sorry, having me as a first girlfriend, that's a flex. Like, bro, that's a flex. Like, she needs to get more gassed over that. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, you know, we get so focused on the relationship being over, but it was so great while I was in it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was, you know, there was a lot of points of escapism, and I would just forget the whole world in general. Like, I stopped replying to people. But it's like, now I know that I want a love where I don't hide from the ones who appreciate me. Like, I'm so quick when it comes to a negative comment, but when it comes to a positive message, somebody saying to me that they've been watching my YouTube for like the past week and they only just messaged me, I'm like, oh, we? And then I realize all the time that I've been doing that. Like, I talk to you guys about Nana Kwame a lot, and he says in a lot of his videos, everybody's got, you know, different people that they listen to. You just share who the universe brings to you, innit? So Jesus brings to me Nana Kwame, and he's broken down religion, and he just sits so right. Like, even my cat, like, when I put him on, like, even my cat comes up next to me, or he starts meditating, like, he closes his eyes, I just get very silent. I'm such a good listener. And I got that from, like, growing up in the church, hearing a pastor every Sunday. Like, listening in general is something that I love doing. And when I can look at myself and be like, that's not me. Like, right now, this person is telling me I'm not listening to them, and I'm like, how did we get here? Because I love listening. So if you perceive me not listening to you, that's not me, the me that knows that I'm a good listener. That's the ego me, or another version of me, you know, that shadow version, or that version of you that is like, oh shit, she's about to ascend, like, you know, like, that's scary for a shadow self who has served their purpose. You know, when somebody has served their purpose in your life and you keep holding on, but it's like, you know that they've served their purpose, like, you have to let go, otherwise it's just going to get messy. And the funny thing is that we don't realize is that when we let go, it doesn't mean that you're never going to see this person again, or the relationship's done. It is served its time. Time is a partner, not this thing that's meant to cage us. You know, I remember saying, like, time isn't real, like, fuck time, like, what did time do to me? It's how I perceive her. Now, whether time is feminine or masculine, it doesn't matter. I just flowed and said her. And you know how my mind was kind of like adjusting today, because as much as I say God is a woman, God is a woman. I say God is they, them. That's my personal revelation. So anyone that is queer, or like just knows that they're more than one gender, they have tapped into that God version of them. They just don't know that they're God, but they don't care about it. That's why they openly say they're queer. But that, I feel like that's where I come in, and I'm like, hey y'all, like, we're actually God. Anyways, so I'm thinking about how God is a woman, and then I realized how you need, like, the seed of a man and the egg of a woman and the womb of a woman. And I was like, I understand why my life is like this. There's no male presence. I get it. Like, the way it clicked in my head, like, even like the way that me and my ex, like, we'd talk about things, or we'd handle our arguments, I'm like, it's so obvious that there's no man figure in our lives. I'm sorry. And like, she wasn't speaking to her brother, so it was a bit hard to be friends with him, even though I was dying to be friends with him. I just wish that I had the balls to do things. And it's like, those things had to happen, right? I had to pussy out. I just meant that it's a bit easier for me to hate on a man if I haven't been shown a good man. Like, that's just, you know. So when the universe is sending me good men, and this doesn't mean that they were never once like the bad man, you could say, or just the one that disrespected women. It's now that this same man has evolved, and the universe has said, these are the men that I want in your life right now. And I'm like, no. Like, why are you choosing what man you want? Like, you don't even have... If the universe is giving you a bar, why don't you work with it? Okay, I need someone that talks to me about this, or sends me music, or I need a man that I can meditate in nature with. Like, he's meditating over there, and I'm doing my YouTube video over here, because sometimes you just need to exist in the same space. And I had that, y'all. Like, when we started dating, he was my male best friend at the time. He kind of stopped talking to me, and I realized that was a karmic relationship at that point. Because I was like kind of crying when I told him. I was like, oh my god, like, you know, I'm with a woman, like, I don't really know how to tell you, you know, it's kind of even scary for me to digest, but I just needed to tell somebody. And he's like, you know, it's not that deep, all of that stuff. And I think he felt worse because he would make a lot of comments about gay people. But to be fair, a lot of people around me make comments about people and they don't know that I am those people. It doesn't really affect me. But it was just interesting how it was very different after that point, and we kind of stopped talking. And I realized that I was holding on to a relationship. This guy that I'm talking about, my male best friend, he was the first guy, the person I did shrooms with for the first time. And even on those shrooms, I didn't have any revelations about him, to be fair. But I genuinely thought that we were gonna have this like mad love story, and like, you know, I was gonna basically break interracial relationships in the sense of like, black people are meant to be uplifted and that's it. Like, if you're not even black and you see this light in me, you know, it completely reverses the whole like hating the white man. You know, like how a lot of old white men, they have a standard. But I was just coming out of my house and I was talking to one of my neighbors, and he was an old white man. He was lovely. You know, we had this funny ass conversation, and you know, like when you're kind of like walking off but still talking. So I'm used to having men in my life. I'm just not used to having a consistent man in my life, I think. But then that's also a reflection of me, because I haven't been a consistent woman, and I guess I just never believed in myself as a woman, that I could have a male friend, that I could have just a man in my life and he can be honest with me and say that he's attracted to me, and I'm honest and I'm like, I'm attracted to you too, but like, let's talk about what this means. It doesn't mean that now we need to do something. You're allowed to find me attractive. You're allowed to find me attractive. It's the fact that after that I did those shrooms for the first time and I thought that me and him were gonna have this like great love story, that didn't happen. So I was like, oh, okay, like maybe that wasn't meant to happen. Maybe that was that part of me that wants that. But the reality was, on shrooms, he didn't even have that revelation about no love story, and like, you know, which was what made me realize that we had a karmic relationship. And in another reality, I'm guessing maybe we did get married, but in this one, I already knew that I didn't want to get married. Like, even in some of my older videos, I mentioned that I fucked with it. And I was like, I want to get married, but I don't want the physical paperwork of it. Like I don't need the whole, we don't need to be tied like that. Like, you know, like. And then I was dating Bliss, and I was like, you know what? I don't fuck with marriage, but you know what? For you, I'm gonna get married. Like, I'm gonna tie myself down financially. Is that love? Or was I just trying to escape? Maybe marriage doesn't sound as bad when you've got the right person, right? But maybe I need to be with somebody I need to wait for the one who thinks like me and already knows that marriage is a construct, and knows that we want to get married, but we don't have to do it in the physical. I mean, not the physical. I don't mind having a wedding. I just meant I definitely want a wedding. And it's going to be like a massive celebration over a course of 7 days. Do you know why I'm saying this? It's because I was in my room today, and I'll put a picture, maybe at the beginning of this video. I was putting loads of things back up on my wall, all my dreams and ambitions, and I wrote about this 7-day wedding celebration. And I had a picture of a wedding in a forest, but I had put it next to something else. So my whole wall is a map. And I was like, oh, I do want to get married in nature. I'm already doing that. I'm doing that right now. This is a marriage right now. Like, nature has been calling me out, like, and sometimes they'll be like, you remember when you used to come out with nothing? Like, why don't you do that again? And I was like, oh, you're so right. Let me go shower first and then go do that. And they're like, girl, we just wanted you to go outside. Like, why do you think you need to look nice to go into nature? We're your family. Like, there's no difference between you. The only difference is you think you're not in nature because you're in concrete, or you're on concrete. But if you leave that concrete alone for a few years, or even a few months, like just no maintenance, you will see the grass coming through the concrete. The earth always comes to reclaim what is hers. And I was like, oh, like I've just come back to reclaim what is mine. It's not that marriage is a bad thing, Jesus is a bad thing. Even like I completely understand the concept of God ordained marriages. Like I get it. To have that third perspective, that approval from your higher self, that this is your person. But I don't need to do that. Like there's different ways to get married, and a physical thing is not one of mine. Yeah, a physical one is not one of mine. But I just meant like it was insane how I'm ready to like jump into that. And I said that was love. Like I remember, you know, saying that I don't want to eat meat. And you know what I realized about the whole meat thing? Let me tell you what I realized, yo. I don't think I have a problem with meat. I have a problem with the fact that I'm not cooking it myself. Like, if I'm gonna eat a dead animal, I need to be conscious of the fact that this is a dead animal and I'm about to season it up. And, you know, I don't like eating and I'm just like... like, it was fun back in the day when I had crazy munchies and I was a bit more lower vibrational. But every time I smoke now, it's like, god damn, like I need some fucking fruit. Like every time I smoke, all I'm reminded of is my diet. Like just what I eat. And the universe ain't beating nobody up whether you eat meat or whether you don't. Like nothing is real anyway. But I just meant you're meant to understand the concept of eating something that was once alive that is now dead. If I'm sizzling up a steak with my girlfriend in a house and we're only cooking for the two of us, everybody's obviously gonna feel a type of way. And I feel bad because I don't like medium rare. So I'm trying to cook mine up a bit more. But then my brain is telling me that you're only doing that because of slavery. Because the last time I was here was slavery. This consciousness. I've been here many times, but the last time I was here was slavery. Where like we would get the shit parts of the meat. So now I'm getting good parts of the meat. Like I don't have to do all of that. That's why white people don't really season. Because like... You can just kind of go through history and realize that we are history repeating itself. There's going to be another Jesus that comes, and there's going to be all the other ones that say, come to us, it's over there. There's going to be other people that tell you, go to church on Sunday. There's always going to be somebody that tells you you're going to hell, because that's what most people are living in, and that's what they are fearful of. They're so fearful of this hell that instead of acknowledging that they're in hell, they'll tell you you're going to hell. You're going to hell for being gay. You're doing this. You're doing that. And that was the reason why that relationship for me was like the last hurdle for the Christ consciousness. Because I needed to be with someone of the same sex to look at myself. See, a lot of people, like, they like the man, woman, you know, oh, that's how the baby's created. But like when you're actually in a same-sex relationship, like you're actually looking at yourself. And if you do not like yourself, that's when you realize that everybody is yourself. And I was like, oh, here I am hating on a man. This man is me in another bodily form. So if he's treating women like shit, like there was a time where I even came as a man and I treated some women like shit. Because I also realized today when I was hanging up my stuff that me and my mother are in a karmic relationship. That was why that relationship happened. It's just to teach me. Half of you guys, if I asked you about your last relationship, oh, don't talk about it. If I asked you to tell me about the last person you spoke to, oh, don't talk about it. No, take the experience. Okay, I thought that they were this person, but they weren't this person. That means I'm gonna hold on to my standards. I need somebody that reassures me when they're busy, so I'm not thinking that there's a problem. Right? You're not crazy for that. But if you're talking to somebody who doesn't care about that stuff, why don't you say, okay, I need to let go of this. This is somebody that I've met that doesn't care about how I feel. Let me wait for somebody that does. And let's say the next person doesn't care how you feel again. Wait for the one that, like, it's like a pick and, you know, I want a man that expresses himself. And then I'm presented with men that have YouTubes and TikToks and, okay, I want a man who expresses himself and enjoys smoking weed in nature. Like, and I'm not talking about when he's smoking with his boys and the boss and the J. One J around 7 man. I'm not talking about that, love. I'm talking about a man that comes into nature. And you know what's crazy? That guy probably doesn't even have a YouTube. He's probably had that urge to start one, but then he needs to see a woman. He needs to see a reflection of him, like in a different bodily form, doing what he's always wanted to do, or doing what he's always been doing, just not posting it. And then he messages that woman and says, listen, I need you to help me do what you do. And now it's an equal energy exchange. He brings the ganja, I'm bringing the social media. Like maybe I bring him on my platform and we're talking about how come like you've always had this urge to start YouTube and you never did it. Because we've all had that. Don't you think? I started making YouTube videos when I was like 7. I don't even know, but I had an iPad. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube video. I'm telling you, hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hi. Like, you'd think that I actually had a full-on YouTube channel, but I did. That was me back then. I just kept practicing until it was the time. Now, I could have posted on YouTube. I know a lot of people that posted on YouTube growing up, and like now they can't like log back into their account and it's all just still there. But don't you think that's so funny though? You had the cheek to post something at 11 or 10 or whenever you made that, posted those videos. You're so worried of somebody finding it. Like the you that posted that did not care. The you that posted that wanted to be found. So it's interesting how when I read the Bible and Jesus is telling me that you need to be childlike to enter the kingdom of God, I need to be childlike to know myself. I need to be childlike to meet Mother Nature, to be a good mother to my son. I'm talking about my cat. You think that's just a cat. I'm telling you that's my son that came to me in a cat so that he can show me my ways in parenting. And then when he comes again in a different consciousness as a boy, whether he's adopted or he is birthed through me, or you know, even like sometimes where a woman is about to give birth but she can't look after the child, like I would totally do that as well. I would totally do that, because I just think if I put something forward, I am going to get like all of this yapping. It's not really yapping. This is a portal. It's a portal. So then you're gonna start thinking about yourself and you're gonna be like, I want to do this and I want to do that. And I've been talking to you guys a lot about shrooms, but I want to be very real with you guys, because now that I've had a lot of time to sit alone and I'm hanging all of these things back up on my wall, now that I'm packing with a destination and I'm preparing for my birthday and I'm gonna do shrooms on my birthday, I need you guys to do shrooms with me. Like, because I kept telling one of my closest friends, like he did shrooms last week and then he called me while he was on his trip. I don't know if he's gonna watch this, maybe, but yeah, he called me and I like the whole time I was like, what the fuck, like I wish I was there. And then it was like, no, it's not I wish I was there, like I wish I was doing shrooms with him, because I kept telling him about shrooms, but the link was that we need to do it together. So then he came to me afterwards, you know, after it's calmed down, because he had a very intense trip for the first time, and I just wanted him to feel as comfortable as possible, especially after that shroom trip and you're coming back into reality and you're wondering if these things are real. Because when I had my first trip, I had work. I had my first shift of work like 2 hours afterwards. Like it was that so yeah, that 31st, that day, that was my first day of work. And then I realized like, oh wow, like I can't tell anybody. I mean, I think I mentioned it to a few people that were on that kind of thing, like they were spiritual as like me. Only a few though, like I'm talking about 1 or 2. But I didn't meet anyone there that had done shrooms, and I was like, wow, like there's nobody I can share this experience with. Because that was also the time I got the download to delete my social media. So I wasn't really on social media from then, but I was doing a lot of content creation. Do you get it? I had so many videos, and I think that was the point. Like I don't know why it just never occurred in my brain to make a YouTube video. Like at that time I was just venting, and I think that's where it starts for all of us. You know, you make that voice note, you write in your notes, you make that video, and then you delete it, but it's not been deleted. In another reality, you posted that. So like, it just keeps going like that. Nothing that you do is by mistake. And even explaining my first room trip, and even people telling me or talking to me on their first room trip, I'm like, wow. And that was one of the other reasons why I had to break up with my girlfriend, because break up with my girlfriend at the time, because she had never done shrooms with anyone, so I was the first person that she did shrooms with, and I loved doing shrooms with her. I loved it, but I need her to experience shrooms with somebody else so that she knows, because that's how I knew. That's why I was kind of so confident in who I was, because I'm always bringing the heaven, like I'm always bringing the light, like I'm not being funny. You do shrooms with me, like you will see this life in a different way. There were so many times she did shrooms and she was like, I was literally talking to God. But because I wasn't really sharing my whole Jesus stuff, I didn't know how to tell her that that was God. And God only comes out like when he wants to. And I really provoked him at that time. God is they, them, okay? When I'm referring to a masculine or feminine God, like, you know, you should already know to not be offended by that and go with what sticks with you. So if you name God Source, if you name God Spirit, if you name God Mama Gaia, you know, we need to stop being offended in the ways that God presents or expresses, because God doesn't need an explanation. And I fully understand that now, especially with just Jesus being on my side and stuff. Like, why do I keep trying to prove that I know who that is? Why do I keep trying to say, or, oh, I'm afraid that the church is going to say something? Like, okay. Last time I checked, this so-called church is worshipping the same Jesus that I'm talking to. So, and he's telling me I don't need to go to church. That doesn't mean that other people don't need to. It's that I don't, because I have gone through that. I did it in childhood. Like, I've gone like this. Like, I shouldn't be who I am today, but I am because of how fast I quantum jump. And sometimes I slow down and I give myself like a break, because I'm like, I'm going too fast. And I don't know how to tell her that we need to start doing shrooms with other people. Like, that was what I was trying to say. I was dying for her to do shrooms with like one of my friends. And when I mentioned it, it kind of came off in the wrong way, because she thought, oh, like, what, you don't want to do shrooms together? Like, I just got here. Like, you want to already invite her? I was like, no, like, I need her to see us on shrooms so that she knows that she can do shrooms. Like, I need people to see me on shrooms. That's it. That's actually it. And I was so like, oh my God, like, you know, how am I gonna pay for that? And blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, you weren't paying for it before. The first time I did shrooms, I didn't pay for it. So why do I assume that now that I am intentionally saying I need to be there when somebody does shrooms? Or I'm saying I'm gonna record, like, if you do shrooms or you're thinking about shrooms, I'm gonna record a video from before I eat the shrooms, as I eat the shrooms, and the effect afterwards, and later in the day. I want it to be that clear for you, so that you know I can do this as well. I can do this alone even. Yo, do you know who you have to be to do shrooms alone? So that's why I said, like, that's why I said to her, like, you've already done shrooms alone. Like, why are you afraid to do it with other people? But that's why I said, like, you know, you can be so confident in yourself and then so scared to face other people. Like, we shouldn't be forgetting our trips. That was why I ended it. I just kept forgetting my shroom trip every time. And not forgetting it, like, as in it's gone, what happened. But it's like, I'm not applying it to my real life. Like, we're having all of these conversations and then we wake up the next morning, you know, we're still feeling a bit nice from that shroom trip. And we're like, wow, that trip was great. I'm like, listen, like, that was real life. And that trip that I was telling you about, when I told her, when she was saying that I became God and stuff, she was like, I was basically saying how I already know I have a house here on your road, and all I have to do is choose to want it. Like, it's sitting there. I have to pick the car that goes there. Like, it's all a game. Like, it's waiting for me. It's like teasing me. That house was teasing me, and the whole time I didn't claim it because I thought it was insane to think that I am gonna be given a house. But I didn't know how. I just knew that on Shroom. Like, I knew that. I was like, bro, the house is mine. Like, why have we not gone there yet? Like, why have we not walked past there and acted like, you know? And then that's when it all started hitting me that I've already done this. I did that. I had the dreams and ambitions on my wall from months ago when I wanted to live in Canary Wharf. I mean, I kind of still do. But I'm not so fussed about living in the city. Now, my greatest gift would be a house in nature, and I know what house, and I know what car. You know, all of these things are games. So for me, I already know that I'm not even gonna be like living there forever. I'm not gonna have this car forever, and I'm not gonna be attached to these things because it's all built on concrete anyway. Like, this is the real home, but it's like completely like it would be like the craziest thing ever to just sleep there, you know. But that's what it used to be. And I remember when I used to have revelations and dreams about like making love in nature, and it was like these huge massive leaves that look like blankets. So my point is that Earth has the blankets and the pillows and everything that you need. And when I was single before, I mean, I'm single now though, hey, but when I was single before, I wanted to do shrooms and not go home and see where my body would take me. And that's what I wanted to do. If you scroll down a bit, I did 6 Gs the first time that I met Bliss, and that was the day where, like, she got her cab home, and then I was like, bro, I don't even want to go home, like, but I just did it. You know, I just did it because she got a cab home, and I was like, oh, you know. But if I was on my own, I wouldn't have gone home. I would have stayed in nature. Maybe that's what I'm gonna do on my birthday. Maybe I'm gonna stay in nature. Like, don't you think I know that sounds insane? What? Stay in nature? What? It's gonna get cold. It's gonna get dark. Like, it's not safe. I've done this. I did shrooms with these issues. I went to the lake with nothing on me when I used to have no social media, and I did shrooms, and I was like, listen, it's gonna get dark, like, you're gonna have to lead me back. And I kid you not, like, just like the way the sky is right now, there's still a bit of light. When I was walking home, there was this tiny flip. It was like the sky was waiting for me to go home. And then as soon as I looked out my window, when I got inside, pitch black, like so pitch black, you wouldn't even imagine it. And then I started thinking maybe it was always pitch black and I could only just see that light. Anyway, it is getting a bit dark, to be fair. Not that I have a problem with it. I love the dark and I love the light. We're just gonna wait. For me, yeah, oh, for me, baby, it's the everything, no trying. You'll be shining, my silver lining. 'Cause baby, it's the everything for me. I think this might be my cue to leave, to be honest, like. But this is why I'm reminded that I need acres of my own land. Like, I cannot believe that I thought that the universe didn't want to give me a fucking house. Like, the universe doesn't care about houses. The universe wants me to live in nature. The universe is just giving me a house because that's all that I know. I'm so used to having a place inside. I'm so used to being inside that I need a bigger space to be inside so that I can learn to be outside. You know, you go outside and do a video in nature, but I need to be in a house where I step outside the front door and I'm in nature. Do you know what I mean? And I know, and I have that. I know what it is. But I just meant, like, every time I tried to say that the money that we need, we can't work for it, it just felt like it was going in one ear and out the other. And I realized that is what I've been telling my mum my whole life. And, you know, I was taught that it required more prayer, And it's like, no, all it is talking. I've listened to my mum say that she wants this house and this Merc her whole life, but like, and that's what she actually wants, but she doesn't believe that that is all it takes to say I want it. That's all it takes. I remember when I used to do shrooms, yeah, and a couple days afterwards, like, that's actually why I had to end it, because it was everything that was happening after the shrooms that was teaching me, right? Like, I used to think about something and it would just happen. Like, I'm not being funny, like, that's how you know I had reached that frequency up there. I'm like, I want to do this today, and like 2 minutes later, somebody is texting me or calling me saying, do you want to do this very thing later? Normally it might take a little bit of time if you think about someone, and then they might call you, but it was like an instant thing. It was like, I'm up here and I can change what I like everything's already set in stone, but this version of me is like, you know what, like, you know what you're doing, like, you know. And it's getting a bit dark, but honestly I kind of like it. I think I'm gonna have to do more sunset and sunrise videos, because this is really nice. I feel like sunrise would bang. Anyways, you know, a lot of you guys said that you would listen to me talk like for hours. I was like, yo, let me get on my Zoom now. Man, the minute that I stopped thinking about money, like, that's what mushrooms is for me. That's why you need to do mushrooms with me. That's what mushrooms is for me. It's like talking about everything and understanding, oh yeah, we created money, fam. We created money to enjoy it, but now it's been manipulated in every which way. We need to call that feminine energy back. Yo, money, let me tell you what I'm trying to do with you. I am trying to get a house over here. I'm trying to get even another cat. When I live on my own, I'm definitely getting another cat. Whether it's a male or a female, the universe will tell me that. I feel like I want, let me tell you what I want. I want to look after loads of animals in this life. Like, they come to me, I look after them for a time, and then I release them out into the wild. Like, I look after children and then I build them up. I'm with somebody for a time and then we're apart. Like, that's what I just need to flow, bro. Like, I need to go to church for a bit, and then I need to spend every Sunday alone. I want to walk around the Hajj. I want to do so many things. I want to go to the Taj Mahal. I need to go to all of these places and experience everything, so that I know what I want. I can be fulfilled. I'm not going there because, oh, you know, everybody's going to New York and, you know, some of y'all been dreaming of coming to London. Look, and I'm acting like, you know, I'm acting like me having a house and you guys coming, flying over isn't like the fucking coolest thing to ever exist. How dare I think that the universe doesn't want, like, why would the universe sell me dreams like that? Don't you think that's just so rude? If the universe sells me dreams like that, like, to tell me to have all of these dreams and ambitions on my wall. But that's why I took them down, if I'm being honest. I thought that Jesus was lying to me about this abundance, and then he was like, babes, like, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. If you think that I don't want you to be, like, if you think I care about you being with a man or a woman, like, you don't know me. And I was like, really? I was like, well, I want to be with a woman. Like, I manifested that shit. I'm not being funny. Like, I manifested that shit. And I even remember saying, like, the universe keeps telling me, like, why do you want a man so bad? I'm like, oh, you know what? Like, you're right. I need me a woman. Boom. And I know that she's overthinking a lot and there's a lot of energy there, but I just stopped giving it energy. Like, that's when I realized, oh shit, like, I can control my life with nothing. You don't need no weed, no mushrooms, no money. Like, you can, if you think, oh, I've got no money. Okay, I don't got no money. What are we gonna do? And then we use that scarcity mindset, that scarcity frequency, to think of ways of how to make money, instead of realizing, okay, I don't have it because of my mindset, not because that there isn't money. And it's not money that I need to make, it's money that I need to be friends with. Hey money, this is what I want to do with you. Hey money, I want to get loads of shrooms, so that when I tell somebody let's do shrooms together, they don't even have to pay for it. I don't want anybody, like, I understand though, like, a couple people have paid for them, but I don't want that. Like, I just want to be able to say, you want to do shrooms? Like, do you want to come to mine? Like, I want to be this. Like, that's how I knew I was Mother Nature. And that's how I knew that I've been protected my whole life, because I want to be this big hog. Like, I don't want to be an escape. I want to be a wake-up call. I need to be both. I want to be like, somebody spends time with me and they're like, nah, man, how do I live like this? Like, you know that in the Bible, if you know that, it doesn't matter, I'll remind you, it's not that deep. Like, there was this guy that was so desperate to see Jesus that he climbed to the top of a tree because he was really short. So he actually couldn't see him in the crowd. He climbs to the top of a tree just to look at Jesus, and Jesus looks at him and he's like, yo, I'm coming to your house today. Out of everybody in the crowd, you know. Bro. And then like he goes to the house, and the guy, like, all they do is eat a meal together, like enjoy time together. Like, you think Jesus was going around preaching? Jesus don't need to preach. He just needs to be. Like, that was what I was telling my girlfriend. Like, we're doing too much. Like, we just need to be. Like, I want to wake up in the morning to abundance. Like, just the thought of being sent money, I don't need to know where it's coming from. I know that it's coming from a divine mother. I know that there's a family behind the veil making sure that I'm good. But if I'm just praying to this one Jesus guy over and over and over again, like, he didn't do this alone. What does it take to be God and then come as a human being? We're not talking about him dying on the cross or nothing like that. What does it take to be God and create a game and go in your game? If you created a Sims game, could you go inside your Sims game? This game is so good that it keeps running even when he's not in it. Because Jesus is a traveler. Christ consciousness, he's in me, he's in you. He can use the pastor on a Sunday when you're there, but then he might not use it for somebody else. Maybe he'll use the pastor for somebody else to open their eyes and realize, oh, religion isn't my answer. You know, we love to hate on atheists, but what did it take for them to get there? They looked at the world and said, this is bullshit. Exactly. It's the atheists are the ones that Jesus actually would use more than the religious. I'm not being funny, because like, they ain't got no judgments and they ain't taking no shit. But that's why I attract a lot of atheists, I'm not gonna lie. And then like, they'll chill with me for a bit and they'll be like, oh, like, what do your tattoos mean? And I start talking about my shroom experience. They're like, damn, I need to do shrooms. I'm like, that's why I would always say, like, yeah, you need to do shrooms. Like, no, you need to do shrooms with me. There's a reason why nobody else has this perspective. It's my perspective. It's the divine reframe. And I'm sitting here like, why am I not telling people to start subconsciously manifesting? Like, before you go to sleep today, or just before, or even do it now, like, just think about us meeting, doesn't matter where, right? Let's say it's in your favorite spot, where you're dreaming of, like we're just in nature, in your favorite spot, and I've just given you shrooms, and I'm recording a video just like this. Or just imagine you being right here. Like, don't you think something's missing? Somebody needs to be here. So you guys need to flow through my channel. You need to watch yourself. You need to show your friends, oh, like, hey, I did shrooms with Divine. Like, I did shrooms with this woman called Divine. You know, like, we're so scared. Like, doesn't that sound crazy? I did shrooms with Divine. I love that. Anyways, it is getting a bit dark, so for my own not really safety, because I know I'm protected, especially after making a video like this, I just meant the human beings, not the environment, because really we don't fear the dark. It's what happens or what has happened in the dark. But I don't fear the dark. I love the dark. But I'm just hearing a lot right now, and I choose not to. So yeah, this was one of my favorite videos. Yeah, it was just so real. Like, I'm not giving you advice, or I mean, I am. I'm just saying that we're friends, and the quicker that you realize that, the easier it will be to manifest. Like, even if you're finding it hard to manifest money, manifest doing shrooms with me. That's it. Oh, I don't have money to buy shrooms. I want to do shrooms with Divine. Just say that out loud. I want to do shrooms with Divine, because I want to do shrooms with you. If you're watching these videos, like, we're wasting time. I have 80 subscribers. I'm not being funny. Like, 8 billion people in the world, and we think that 80 of you just came here randomly. Oh, she's so cool. Like, no, we need to do shrooms together. My perspective, like, I can't even explain all of it on YouTube. I need to do shrooms with people that actually, like, see me, watch my videos, spend time with me. because the people in your current environment will kill you, and they will call you crazy for trying shrooms. But if this changed your mind a bit, I hope you said out loud, I want to do shrooms with Divine, even if you've never messaged me before. It doesn't fucking matter. You guys don't think that I binge YouTube videos of people that I've never messaged. We're going up in this game together, okay? So you know me. It's actually really dark though, I can't lie. It's actually dark, like you can't see nothing. Thank God I brought my iPad. Yeah, I forgot my light at home, so there's that. Yeah, I'm just remembering that everything happens for a reason. That shrooms is all around, money is all around, weed is all around, friends are all around. I just have to look. If I am here, all of that other stuff is here as well, because I'm validating that thing's existence. I'm validating shrooms' existence. We are validating money's existence. But do I want to let money control me? Not so much. No. But I am done acting like living with somebody who is controlled by money doesn't have an effect on me looking at my dreams and ambitions, to a point where I take them down and I don't want to look at them, because none of those dreams can be achieved with money. I'm not being like, I can't do shrooms with all of you and work. I can't do shrooms with all of you guys and like, do you know that takes some God like, that takes the power of the divine to do shrooms with 80 people, and it's not that crazy. We've met 80 people in our lifetime. But now I'm gonna get up and we need to do shrooms together. That's all I know. Now I'm more confident in myself now that people need to do shrooms with me, because it's me. I'm telling you, it's me. It's my presence. It's my frequency. I'm divine. That's my name. And I can see other people's spiritual names, and they like, I don't even know how to tell somebody like, oh, is that your name? Like, I know your name's Zechariah. Like, who even is that? That's a name in the Bible, bruh. Well, I think that's all for now. And Father, teach me how to fall in love with simple things. Surely I will give you glory for eternity. You are all I need. Once upon a time, the mustard tree was just a seed. Or, you know that video about like why we don't reply? I realized that if I'm not replying to people, I'm not replying to myself. I don't want to be far from you. Anyway, yeah, that's all I got, y'all. That's all I got. It's real dark, and I gotta go feed my cat and feed myself. But right now, I'm not really eating too heavy because my birthday's coming up, and I know that serious food change is coming. Like, I don't hate on people that eat meat. I don't know why. I think because vegetarians give that impression, but there's an actual conscious reason I'm doing that, and it was because I used to just treat animals like shit when I was eating meat. So if I treat them better, maybe they would be as pissed that I'm eating them, because I give my cat meat. So anyway, so help me use it as a weapon against the fallen one. Your grace is so much greater than all the sin I've done. You so loved the world that you gave your only son. But obviously sin is different for me. Sin is going against God, and I am God, so sin is going against myself, not listening to myself, not believing in myself. And if that is sin in my world, I've been living in sin for a while because I'm not doing what I should be doing. I've not been listening to my intuition, and my solar plexus was so like tight when I was dating. Oh my god, it was so tight. And like now, when I get back into dating, I'm gonna be very specific, and it's gonna be so much fun for you guys to watch me manifest again. And I manifested you guys. I hope you know that. Hopefully I made that obvious. You guys didn't come for no reason. I manifested y'all. And now it's time to do shrooms together. It's time to be friends. It's time to ascend. Boom! That's how you end it. Bye. She's out with my ice cream cone. Said it sounds like a choir, singing hymns, hallelujah. It's the voice of God. Yeah, it can make a grown man cry. And I can hear it on the wind of an early morning. When the fog is getting thick and the birds are chirping. Oh, it's just something I can't explain. No, but it makes me wanna cry. And I can hear it in the hush of a midnight hour. When I'm alone in my room, if I'm going under. Oh, I just can't explain. Oh, but it brings me back to life. It's like the sound of a newborn baby crying. Yeah, like the final breath of a loved one passing. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, 'cause it leads me to the light. It's like a drive-through movie. Small town with a big screen. Like grilling out in the front yard. Sometimes it's the simple things. Like storytelling with my grandpa. He was so easy to believe. Like when the sun goes up, yeah. Sometimes it's better when the sun comes down. 'Cause there's just something about the moonlight. And it can make you feel alright. Oh, it's the voice of God. And it can make a grown man cry. Yeah, they can. It's the voice of God. It can make a grown man cry. Voice of God. It's the voice of God. If you
the kind